Hello and welcome to Voices of Parenting podcast. I am so glad you're here. My name is Mussi Diskin. I am an advanced nurtured heart approach trainer. I am a parenting coach. I am also an inner wealth coach, which means that I help people rediscover and connect to the people that they truly were all along, but may have gotten forgotten along the way. So to find out more about me and what I offer, you can check out mussidiskin.com, contact me through there, respond to this podcast, find me on social media. I would love to connect and I would love to hear your feedback. To sponsor a Voices of Parenting podcast episode, please reach out to energizinghearts@gmail.com. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Welcome back, everybody. We are here with Yocheved Rottenberg again, all the way from Israel. What a treat to be together again and hear more of you and your wisdom and your heart and your passion and your clarity. I think that's something actually that sticks out is clarity. You have a very, very, very clear, decisive stand on how you are going to and how you are not going to see yourself, and how you are going to allow the moments of your, humanness to define you, and how you are not going to allow them to define you. And that is like I feel it like fierce. Like that's it. It's very clear. And that is a gift because I think that I think a lot of people, it's not so clear because of all the shoulds and because of all the guilt and because of all the messages and because of all the, even our own internal promises we've made to ourselves that we watch ourselves fall through and feel powerless over. And then we're like, who even are we? And imposter syndrome and all these things. And it just makes us not so sure that we could really take that stand. And it's almost hearing your story gives me permission, gives us permission to borrow that confidence and that clarity, that we're allowed to have that absolute clarity, that absolute stand. I am going to, no matter what, honor myself, whether it's my commitment, whether it's my resetting, whether it's my coming back, whether it's my never giving up. I will not allow my failure to get the most of me, to make the most of me, to take over me, to define me. Like, no, that's not serving anybody. And it's so powerful and so beautiful. So if you haven't heard our first conversation, please scroll back to whenever it was that we had our part 1 conversation. It was just such a powerful and inspirational conversation. And I'm so grateful to be back again. I feel like one piece that I maybe want to lean into, and we'll see where this takes us. It could take us anywhere. No specific agenda, but this idea that I find is truly a gift and nurtured heart. It's true of the children, but I think we'll focus on ourselves here right now in this moment, at least the way I'm presenting this right now, in that there's, for any type of thing in the world, there's usually a certain level of what's the word, competence, or like checklist, or like good at itness. There's a good word for this that I'm not thinking of, that you need to like accomplish, and then you're an accomplished, X. If you know how to cook, once you know how to cook enough dishes and you know how to like play with ingredients enough, now you can claim that you're a good cook, that you can own the kitchen, that you're a good baker. And with parenting too, it's like if you follow a certain way, a certain mindset, a certain modality, if you're good at it X amount of the time, more times than not, if you apply it and you get like a well-oiled wheel, that you have the responses like this and you know how to say it, then you've got it. And if you don't, and if you watch yourself not, that's where imposter syndrome comes in. That's where shame comes in. That's where I don't want anyone to really know what goes on in my home, because if they only knew, they would never hire me. They would never want me to be a coach. They would never listen to what I have to say if they knew that I'm not doing their try. And hands down, there's probably all of us have been there, and probably so many of us are still there, where we love nurtured heart and think it's great, but then we feel so much shame around all the times we're not using nurtured heart. which is counterintuitive to the approach, but is human and makes so much sense, especially when you care about something and want it so much. The level that you take nurtured heart at, the level that you have it in you, Yocheved, and what I think is such a gift of nurtured heart to myself and to anyone who fully embraces it, is that the truth is there's no getting there. It's not about outcome. It's not about behavior. It's not about how we act in any given moment. It's not about good choices or bad choices. It's a bottom line clarity, like a belief that I am on purpose, that we are on purpose, that we have what it takes, and that we are allowed to be proud of that and own that and stand in that and find evidence for that, and that in itself is the job. And so who cares? Like, I could be at the bottom of the totem pole of all parents in the world. I still get to find my greatness. I still get to honor myself, and I still get to show up for the life that I've been given because it's mine. And I'm the one that's meant for it, you know? So I feel that clarity from you, and I feel that permission and that ability to not have to lean into that or own that imposter syndrome of, you know, I went to a CTI, I took 6 nurtured heart courses, I read all the books, I did this, I did that, I worked with a coach for a year, you know, and I'm still yelling at my kid, and I'm still not finding their greatness, and I'm still energizing negativity. Like, at any point of time, I could always reset, and I could always come back to stand 1, I'm not going there anymore. I don't deserve this. I'm a good person. Whether or not I see it or feel it right now, I know it to be true. God doesn't create junk. Like, stand 2, where is the evidence of that? My reset right here, like you so spoke about last time. How we can walk through the stands and walk through the sour. I can always come back to the fact that I'm resetting right now. So I think that a huge gift of nurtured heart is that it gives me permission to not have to get to any level of competence before I can already say this is nurtured heart. It's nurtured heart to be having a horrible moment where I'm totally losing it and not okay in myself or with anyone, and that my, you know, let's walk through 3 stands. I know some people maybe aren't familiar with the 3 stands, but keep listening to this podcast, take a course, read a book. Stand 1, like, no, I'm not gonna get into this negativity of how horrible this moment is. Stand 2, I am aware that this is not how I want to be. I'm frustrated about it, which means that it's against my value system, which means I have great values. I'm frustrated that I'm here right now, which means that sometimes I'm not. Because if I always was, then I'd probably need to be numb to it. I'd probably need to disassociate from it. I could even believe in it. There are people who believe in punitive shaming systems. Like, I don't believe in that. I don't want that for my kids. I want good things for my kids. Like, I'm a loving, desiring only good for my kids' parent. They're lucky to have me, you know, and my clarity is this is not the moment to start, you know, doing anything, making any change, trying anything. We just need to like get through this and get out. That's the clarity. We'll come back to all the lovely nurtured heart ways of speaking and the greatness and this and that. We'll get there soon. So yeah, so this is what I hear kind of, or heard kind of from your share and from your experience. And tell me more about how that looks for you and what your, you know, what your process is of getting here, or whatever it is that's on your mind or heart to say right now.
So I think nurtured heart isn't a set of skills, it's a mindset. So you're saying that in other modalities you have to work very hard and succeed to get there. Because nurtured heart isn't a set of skills, I don't have to be good at it in order to be successful. Because there aren't skills that, of course there are skills because everything has skills, but it's not a list of skills. It's just a mindset. So a mindset we could shift in a minute. The mindset is that I am determined no matter what, and I am committed, absolutely committed, to find my goodness at this moment. That's the whole thing in one sentence. And that everyone could do at any moment, no matter what's going on, no matter where they are and what situation they're in, they can always do this. So we never have to get good at it. We just have to make a choice, and a committed choice. And that's the difference. The reason, and I really appreciate that it's called absolutely no, absolutely yes, absolutely clear. Because if we're not absolute, then we're going to waver. And in a minute, we're just going to lose it. It's just like, oh, it's absolutely no. I'm never going to dwell on the negativity. Okay, but this minute qualifies to dwell on it. It's not absolute. If it's in general, usually I won't. But now, look how bad the situation is. But when it's absolutely, it means no matter what, I am going to be committed to these ideals. So when I make that firm decision, nothing sways me. And if I lose it for that minute, inherent in my decision is that I'm absolutely not going to lose it, not going to lose my own values the next minute. So if I lost it this minute, then a minute later, I am absolutely not going to go there. And therefore, it's a mindset that never runs out because it's no matter what. Nothing in the world can make me lose my decision. And once you come to that decision, it's like, okay, so this is it for life. For life. I'm there. I'm committed. And I'll just say, like in Judaism, a lot of times words are discussed strongly. Like if someone said something, it means it. You have to honor your words. And it's true because if we appreciate our commitments, a commitment is real. A vow is real. A decision is real, right? And someone that's committed, it's not, oh, I'm committed, but today was a hard day, so I'm not committed. No, if I'm committed, I'm committed. And yes, I had a hard day today. It's fine. So the next minute, I'm committed again. And nothing is going to change in that commitment. And therefore, there's no skills. You don't have to be good at it. You could fail, and the next minute you're great at it again, because all it meant was absolutely no. I will not let myself drown in that negativity that I felt a minute ago, and that's fine. A minute ago I felt it, but at this minute I'm not going to feel it. I will not go there. And then the next minute is, okay, so where will I go? What am I finding great about myself? You know what's great about me? That I am so committed. And I am not giving up no matter what. And once I'm in that space of really connecting with my greatness, which, wow, that's amazing that I'm committed, even though it's so hard. Okay, so what's my clarity? And then I can reach a place of clarity when I'm not in a maelstrom of overwhelm. I will automatically reach a much clearer place. And I think that's the beauty of not having to be good at it, quote unquote. And that's why nurtured heart is so powerful for every situation and for every person.
Yeah. It makes me think of something that Howie says a lot, Howard Glasser, the creator of The Approach. There's always a new now.
Right?
Every
Exactly.
minute there's a new now. And nurtured heart, all nurtured heart is asking me for is in the now. Not in the past, not in the future, in the now. So however many nows I don't make that commitment, however many nows I fail at my commitment, however many nows I do lean into negativity and I do bash myself or others or whatever it is, there's always a new now that now I'm not. and
Beautiful.
and now I'm going to shift. And I love that what you said about it being a mindset. And it really is that, because I don't know how to even at this point, it's second nature for me. The way that I speak, the way that you were saying a little bit off camera, Yocheved, that sometimes you feel like you don't really do nurtured heart, but then you're like, but actually I do. Like I always make sure to say, the strengths, and if there's ever an opportunity to say strengths, I will. And in normal good moments, I do. Sometimes I wonder, like all the things I teach other people, and other people are like, "Wow, I said this," and "Wow, I said that." I can't remember anything I said to my kids today. Like, I don't. But if I'm conscious of it and I realize, I'm like, "Oh, I do." It's so second nature to me. I say it to anyone and everyone. I say it to. I don't even realize that I sound weird. I don't. I don't realize that I don't sound like other people. I just am it already. But that's not where I started, and that's not where I am 100% of the time. And it never mattered. The same way it didn't matter when I was totally a floodgate of overwhelm and messiness in my life, and I was refusing to energize that as
Right.
the definition of me and who I am and what I stand for. The same way it doesn't define me now. I was great then and I'm great now. We were in different places. There's different circumstances. I had different skill sets. I was struggling with different things. I hadn't grown as much as I've grown today. It didn't, it's not, that's not the marker isn't the checklist. The mark, there's no grade. It's not about like behavior, like I said earlier. There was something else I thought of as you were talking. Oh yeah, you were saying about the stands, how you love that it's absolute. I love about the word stand. I feel like Howard landed on a really good word because when you
Exactly. I stand
stand,
for that.
so resolute. I stand for it. I'm standing for it.
Right.
That knowing that made sense to me during that very first workshop, and like I got it, and I believed in it. I knew I tasted it in those moments where it does feel like, but this is a moment that I have to lean into, or this is a moment where they deserve for me to lean into it, or this is a moment where, how could they say that? How could they do that? And I'm just like so upset, or so like, but if I don't say something now, what kind of role model am I being, or what are the neighbors going to think, or how could I let them get away with this? Like those moments, I don't feel like it's an absolute no, meaning I don't get necessarily how or why it's an absolute no in that moment, but I borrow my confidence from
Yeah.
when I made that commitment in the first place. Remember that I know that I believe that negativity never helps, that adding negativity never helps, and that the only path forward is greatness. Maybe in 20 years from now, I will regret this decision. Maybe in 20 years from now, I will look back and realize that I botched up on all my parenting. I only know what I know. I only feel what I feel. And this feels right and looks right and sounds right and tastes right and seems right and aligns with everything that I believe in. So too bad. Like I don't know, like because sometimes it does feel like I'm letting my kids, I'm letting my kids be this, or I'm letting my kids do that. I've had so many examples. Oh my gosh, I'm talking a lot. I want to hear from you too. I've had so many examples of where my kids with school, with bedtime, with where I've chosen to not fight and to give them the respect, I guess, to make their own choice without ever coming to this clarity around, if a kid's staying home when they're not supposed to, like the I have certain rules of like when we stay home, when we don't stay home, and they stay home on a day they're not supposed to stay home. It takes a lot for there to be zero shame. I'm clear. I don't engage with them. They have their lunch packed from the morning. That's what they can eat. I go about my business. I do my thing. I don't make it a nice mommy kid day, but I'm not punishing them. I'm not punitive. I'm not looking for ways to stick it to them. I'm not looking to make them miserable. The second the day's over, we don't talk about it anymore. Believe me, there's fear. Are they going to just never go to school? Are they going to think it's okay? But then my kids like do things like decide, mommy, I really need to be on top of getting to school on time and going every day. And I don't know, I don't really like, I give them an option. This is my own little shtick. I give them an option 2 days a year, mental health days. They can mommy them days, a day when there's certain rules around it. It can't be the week of vacation. It can't be a week when they have to take off for like a doctor's appointment or an illness. It has to be like when there's steady school. They could take off a day, plan it in advance. I clear off my calendar. I don't make any appointments. And we spend the day together, really spend it together, just me and them. So fun and so nice. But like I've had my kids tell me, I don't know, I really want to do the day, but I don't want to take off school.
Wow.
And this is coming from them because I don't shame them or punish them for staying home.
Beautiful.
Or my son just pushed his bedtime up 45 minutes to go to bed. 45 minutes. This is current now time. Just this a few days last week, he pushed his bedtime 45 minutes up because he's like, I think I need more sleep.
Wow.
I'm not myself. I don't feel like I'm myself. I need more sleep. And he's pushing us to do stuff earlier to make sure it's done. Or like he's getting up earlier. He's feeling great. He's proud of himself. We were telling him tonight how we're so impressed. And he's like, I'm impressed with myself. I love it. They're so full people, and they so clearly have their values. So how is this going to play out that in 20 years from now it's going to come back to bite me? I just don't see how. I only see kids who are growing so strongly and so confidently and so aligned with their own inner compass of knowing who they are and where they're going. But anyway, my point about all of this was that sometimes in the moments, I don't necessarily have the confidence and the clarity that it's absolutely no and absolutely yes and absolutely clear. but I refuse to allow myself. I have blind faith, right? Like blind faith. I've chosen nurtured heart. I believe in it when I'm in a good place. So I'm
Exactly.
going with it. I'm going with it. I'm zipping it and I'm going with it. And like maybe I'm crazy and maybe I'm being just totally irresponsible, but like it's what I've chosen, it's what I'm doing, and we're just sticking with it. And that's the clarity for me. And that's where I stick
Yeah.
with,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. That's really power to be able to stay connected to your commitment, even if you don't feel it. When your heart is overwhelmed, but your head knows this is the choice I made, so I'm staying with that choice.
Yeah.
And it's an anchor to be able to keep yourself connected to your good choices, even when we're not necessarily feeling them. It brought up when you were talking, I remember years ago, I took a parenting class, really years ago, 20 years ago, and this teacher told me that she was like really loving and she was always worried that her kids, like maybe it's too much and maybe like they're not gonna, and she said now that my kids are adults, I see it's never too much. That's what she told me then. And she said her children are such loving, kind people because of the love and kindness they got as children.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I always have that line with me. Now I see it's never too much. And it's never too much. We all need it. We as adults need it. Imagine how much the children need it.
I hope I'm quoting this right. I'm quoting a Jewish leader, the Lubavitcher Rebbe. I believe it was a letter he wrote to somebody, but he said about hitting a kid. I hope I'm doing justice, but the idea of like if you hit him and you were wrong to hit him, then what have you done? And how is there any going back? But if you hug him, oh, it's if you hit him when you should have hugged him, what have you lost and what have you done? But if you hug him when you should have hit him, new, like that's a very Jewish expression. What are you, what have you lost? Like so what? So you gave a little bit of extra love instead of, like it's
Beautiful.
so yeah, maybe I didn't teach the lesson I needed to teach in the moment. Maybe I didn't, get home a message that is other kids, my kids' ages really are understanding and learning, and my kids not learning it. And especially the type of things that really run in my head the most with fears is, respect of other elders, respect of teachers, respect of other, not me, not my house, but when they leave my house, that they know that it's certain things are not okay, and they, that's where I go in fear loops. But to reset myself and remember that that's not the way I teach them. I don't teach them through negativity. I don't teach them through negativity. I don't. I trust that this is the right way.
Right. And that parenting is a long-term process. It's not about today. It's not about, okay, so today they know to behave properly. It's about what's inside of them that will give them the tools to behave properly for the rest of their life. And even if you're not making clear rules about we have to do this and we have to do that, I mean, I'm sure you are, but even if they are the person that will be so full and so okay inside themselves and so much filled with positivity and knowledge of their greatness, then it's an automatic result that that's how they will behave as an adult. Anyone that feels good about themselves behaves good to other people. It's just automatically nice people. People that are happy behave happy to other people, and people that are sad behave less happy to other people. So it's just automatic that by filling them up, they're having enough resources inside of them to behave the way you want them to behave when they're older, hopefully.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how do we close this? What's our takeaway? What's our main point? I don't know.
I think the main point is that you don't have to be good at nurtured heart to be doing nurtured heart.
Yeah.
You don't have to know how to do it, and you don't have to take more courses, and you don't have to learn more and learn more and learn more. You have to make a clear commitment and a decision and an absolute commitment. That means it's not today it works for me, I'm going to do it, and tomorrow it's too hard, I lose it. It's an absolute commitment that my mindset is going to be that I'm searching for positivity. That my mindset is going to be that I'm not going to drown in the negativity. I'm going to choose to energize positivity, and I'm going to be clear from that space of positivity.
Yeah.
And I think if we make that mindset, we don't have to learn, and we don't have to know, and we don't have to do all this work. It's just a commitment. And along with that is that it's about this minute, and it's about the next minute and the next minute. So if I failed this minute, the next minute I'm starting again. And every minute is a success. And it's not about, the Bible starts with in the beginning. And I was told because life is all about beginnings. Every minute is a new beginning. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter what happened a half hour ago. It doesn't matter what happened a minute ago. At this minute, I am beginning again. I am beginning anew, and I'm choosing to energize positivity.
Yeah.
And that's it. You don't have to know so much. You don't have to be so much. You just have to come to the decision and come to the absolute commitment, and you're already there. You've reached it.
Yeah. And even more than a new beginning, the idea from Solomon wrote this in the Song of Songs, I guess is how you say it in English. The light, that the greatness of the light that comes from the darkness, the advantage of the light that comes from the darkness. The more minutes, the more moments that you have not reset, that you have not found greatness, that you have not done nurtured heart, and now you're pausing, and now you're trying to reset yourself. And now, instead of shaming yourself, and instead of blaming yourself, and instead of blaming everyone else and shaming everyone else, you're choosing to try and find what's going right. How much greater are you? How much more powerful? How much more courageous? How much more committed are you that you're willing to do that after so many moments of not doing it? That you fell off the wagon for a year and now you're back. How do you have the courage? It's so much self-love. It's so much commitment. It's so much, resilience. I don't know, to be able to pick yourself up like that. So I don't care. The more you fail, the more great your success is,
That's
So
amazing. That's amazing. And yes, in Judaism, it always says anything you do in hardship is worth so much more than what you do when it's easy.
yeah.
And what you're saying is, look how much greater. I love what you're saying. The benefit of the light from the dark. How much greater is your light when you're in so much darkness?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So it's not only I don't have to feel guilty that I didn't do it yesterday. It's wow, look how much greater my success is today. Look at that.
How much more likely would it be for me to shame myself instead?
Exactly.
I have so much more reason to shame myself.
Exactly. Yeah. And therefore, how much greater it is that I'm able to energize myself today. And that's automatically, that's my absolute yes. That is such a great, huge, absolutely yes. Even with all this negativity. And that's something that everyone can reach. Everyone can do, no matter how negative I am. It's wow, look how committed I am. That I'm even thinking about nurtured heart and all this negativity. I don't even have to do anything. Just that I'm thinking about it inherently is incredible.
Yep.
That's amazing.
That is nurtured heart. That is nurtured heart. Nurtured heart is not getting it right all the time. Is not always doing all the 3 stands perfectly. It is doing the 3 stands perfectly. At any new now that I am willing to stand up and say, look at me here today in this moment, right now, resetting. All right, my dears. Let me ask you, Yocheved. I know we said it last time. If you can say it again for our audience, if anybody wants to find more of what you've written, more of what you offer. We didn't talk so much about what you do, but we did in the last episode, so go check it out. But how can people find you? Where can they email or reach out or look for you?
My website is writeyourwayhome.com. We didn't share, but that's my expertise, therapeutic writing, writeyourwayhome.com. My email is Yocheved, Yocheved, at writeyourwayhome.com or info@writeyourwayhome.com if that's easier. And I have a book by that name. I have numerous books. If you look on Amazon on Write Your Way Home, you'll find a number of things. And I look forward to seeing you again one day.
Yes,
thank you.
Definitely need to do this again. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, wait, don't go yet. Take a minute to find the beautiful quality that you have, that you appreciate about yourself.